Welcome. So I hope you have gone through that video. So let's talk about the IPv4 from the perspective of troubleshoot. So the step one, make sure no firewall is in between. When two computers, let's suppose this is one computer and this is another computer, they want to communicate with each other. Let's say in between we have some kind of firewall device. So make sure some kind of IP addressing are not blocked using firewall. Either it is IPS, intrusion protection prevention system, or deep packet inspection. So whatever might be the case, you need to make sure this firewall have permitted or allowed the IP addressing from both sides. Okay, so this is the first thing you have to take into account. On step two, make sure the IP addressing is correct. And on many occasions this has happened. We have this switch inside. Okay, we have this switch, then this computer, maybe we are using 192.168.1.10 for this one, with 25 255.255.255.0. But maybe on other end we are giving the IP address like 10.1.1.1, and no matter what the subnet mask is. So if they are from the two different class, from two different RFCs, then they are not able to communicate with each other. Okay, make sure the default gateway is configured properly if you are looking to route your packet. So for example, uh, if we have one computer over here which has IP 192.168.1.1, subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, then we have the router over here, router, and on other hand we have another computer with subnet mask 10.10.1.1. So if I want to make this computer communicate with this 10 network, it has to go through this router, because this is called default gateway. If you haven't covered this one, if you don't know, no problem, we are going to cover this one. But just keep it in mind. Every time if we want to communicate um, the other IP addressing than us, then we have to always go through router. But most of the time, what we make the issue, under IPv4 setting, we have default gateway settings. Make sure whatever the IP address over here, it should be like 192.168.1.100 or anything else, but should be from the same range that this computer have. The default gateway is pointing to the routers, this interface. If you have forgotten to mention the default gateway, then this computer will not be able to communicate the other part or other computers. Last step is make sure there is not issue in subnetting. This is also one of the common area of error. For example, what I have done here, you don't need to worry about these, what's going on. Just I'm going to explain. So this basically is the 10 network, 10.10.10, 10.1.0, and I have already explained why you do subnet. Okay, so you can see this is the network portion, this is the broadcast, and this is the host portion you can assign to the host, which start from 1 to all the way 14. It means if we have one small LAN portion and it has 14 devices, this all range will be allocated to this section. So these are all 14 devices, let's say. But in the future, we have to add one more computer. Let's say this is a 15th computer. 15th. Now I'm going to assign 10 dot 10 dot 10 dot sorry 10 dot 10 dot 1 dot 17 to this computer. Then these all computers will not be able to communicate with this one because that is totally different subnet. Okay, so this is also one of the main issue that network engineers usually do. Just by looking at this, this looks like from the same range, 10 10 10 1, and just by looking at this you will say no, there is no any issues. But trust me, these are from the different ranges because we have subnetted. So this is also one of the main area of issues. So I hope you get the idea. So Wireshark demo we have already, I have shown you from the IPv4 header section. So that is why I'm not going to go again. So I have, gone through these all sections using Wireshark. So from the perspective of network and cyber security, so basically what happens, let's suppose we have one computer, or not computer, we have local area network over here. We have LAN. Let's suppose this is some department where we have multiple computers inside and they are all connected with each other somehow with some switch. Then we have this router which is connected with the public infrastructure, which is what ISP, could be ISP. Then this ISP connected with another ISP and so on and on. We know that range from this, you can say this is source, and this is the destination, can say this is destination. Source means our local area network is going to have this class 192.168.1.0. So this computer is having .1, .2, .3, .4, .5, .6, .7, etc. something. Okay, so they all can communicate happily with each other. And in case if they want to go to the internet, then we have some kind of netting over here, and this is the router. It is going to take us to the, if you are not familiar with the NAT, we are going to cover. So if we want to go outside, we have some public IP address over here, which will help us to go to google.com, facebook.com, or whatever the website you are looking for. So in that scenario, when we have this 192.168.1 network, this is connected to the router with ISP. So the chances are somebody is sitting here with the same IP addressing 192.168.1.0 network. This is a hacker because this also belongs to the same network. He or she can enter into this network and pretty much he can or she can expose this network. This is what we do not want. So for that, we want to block all RFC19 addresses coming from the public infrastructure. So as you can see, we are going to block all RFC19 addresses. 10.0.0 all the way dot 255.255.255, then 172.0.0.0.0.31.255.255, then class C 192.168.0.0.0. So it means we have this 192.168.1.0 network. We have a router over here, then we have the ISP over here. We are going to block all these traffics when coming inside. So this traffic is going to be blocked over here because we just want to go outside, but we do not want this private RFC19 addresses to come in back. So that is why most of the time we get the threat from outside from the RFC19 address. So this is the best idea to block these all RFC1918 addresses as it enters your router. How to block? This thing is called access list, access control list. This thing is also in AWS as well, by the way, because we are also touching the cloud. So this thing you can find in AWS as well. And ACLs we are going to cover later on. So I hope you get the idea. So let's head over to the next slide, which is talking about the common interview questions, and you just can read it and you can answer those questions and submit to JSS. Okay, so with that, this video comes to an end, and I'm going to see you in the